Hi, I'm Chantel with 141 Design Company, and welcome to my channel. Hey guys, I hope you had a great week and a wonderful Mother's Day. I had a great day yesterday. I got to hang out, do some stitching, spend some time with the girls. We watched a movie. They brought over some special goodies and it was just a great day. And then next weekend, I've got a special little trip planned with Alexis, who's my oldest, and her two daughters, Moxie and Penny, and we're gonna do a little getaway and have some fun, just the four of us, for our Mother's Day treat. But on the note of mothers and previous finishes, I got to thinking about one that I had done a long time ago for my mom. Now, my mom has passed away. She's been gone for a few years now. And of course, on Mother's Day, you're always remembering and missing. And I remembered I had this stitch that has never been fully finished. Now, it still isn't fully finished, but I thought I'd share it with you as a finish. It's an oldie. I tell you, it's an oldie. I must have done this in the 80s. And I did it for her, I'm sure, for Mother's Day. And my dad was always going to put it in a frame, never did. You know how it goes. And then it got like tucked away someplace. And while my sister was going through her things, she found it and said, "Do you want this back?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'll do something with it." But I thought I'd share it with you because I got it out again yesterday and thought I have got to figure out what I'm doing with that. So this is the stitch. Does that not scream 80s or what? um, Look at the mauve, you guys. Who had mauve? Seriously, my whole house was mauve and geese and blue and ugh. Well, who was I? Who was I? But I stitched this for her, and it's on 14 count Aida. Does anybody recognize it? I have no idea anything about it, right? I do remember stitching it. That's for sure. I can remember all of it. I remember the border, everything, and all this like back stitching for the words. But let me read it to you. It says, "Mother, I wonder if you'll ever guess how much you mean to me, the love and joy you've always brought to our whole family. You've always been so wonderful in each and every way. It's no wonder that I love you more with every passing day." And oh my gosh, I love my mom so much. So much. She was just an amazing person. So I want to get this finished for sure. And I was thinking about it yesterday. And I've had this board kicking around. Let me show it to you. That is a board out of my parents' house. My parents have done a lot of remodeling on their house. It's a 100-year-old farmhouse, 100 plus now, way over 100, here in Okemos, Michigan. And this is what the walls look like in the main section of the home before they, remodeled it. It's all drywall now. But I grabbed one of these boards. Look at this cool board. Isn't that amazing? I grabbed one of these when they were doing a bunch of work, and it's got to be 20 years ago, maybe 30. So long ago they did the work in there. And I've hung on to it all this time because it's just a special piece from that house, right? My dad still lives in the house. So it's just really a special, special home. So I've got this idea that maybe I'll fully finish this piece using this board. And I don't want to lose a lot of the patina on it. So I'll probably just clean it up and urethane it. Then it's obviously way bigger. And of course, I don't want to cut it, right? But I'm kind of probably have to. But I might add some pictures to it, like right on top, like as a collage, and see about putting something together. So I'll see what I can come up with and work on that and share with it later. But I thought I'd share that with you in honor of Mother's Day, special little blast from the past. But other finishes that I have are Patriotic. All right, I've got 3 more to share with you. And they're ones I did last year. They're all from Stitching with the Housewives. And this one is on our Patriotic framelit. The framelit has a few different layers to it. It does have the frame pieces so that you can frame in a section. Comes with a star, a wooden star, and then this overlay that's the stars and stripes. I painted this one in the brighter colors, with the white background and the red, white, and blue look. And the stitch is on like a natural 14 count. So his white didn't show up very good, so I did have to batch stitch around that. But he's just an previous finish from last year. Then another one on the framelit board is doing it a little bit different with a little more Americana vibe. So I just clear coated the maple that we use, because we use you can see the grain in it, maple for these boards, and painted the overlays and put that together. This I think is a freebie from the shop. So it's probably attached to another one of the tiered tray pieces from last year. Now, this one was one of the first big pieces I did, and it is America the Beautiful, done on a natural as well. So instead of black with the white letters, I did like a tan color with the black letters, and just kind of finished it off on the press-on boards with some fabric. And I had space on this frame. It was like a prototype frame that I was playing with years ago now. So I added this denim pocket to it and filled it full of the flowers, just to kind of give it a little fill-in space there with that patriotic vibe. And check out those fun little like Whoville type flowers. But this it's a fun one. I really enjoyed stitching this one. And in my plans, I've got plans to stitch another. So I'm excited about doing some more bigger patriotic pieces. So that was my previous finishes for this week. And I have a lot more patriotic as I pull it down out of the attic. So each week, through the month of May and through the month of June, I'll continue sharing some previous finishes and the patriotic finishing that I'm doing now. Last week's Flosstube episode was all about the pillow stitching that I've been doing, the patriotic dough bowl, and I was so inspired from the Susan Aki Summer Memories book. I'm going to show it to you in a minute, to start stitching some pillows. I haven't done a lot of pillows. I think I've done like 2 ever, and I mostly obviously do the flat finishing. So I just wanted to try my hand at those and get better and learn more styles of pillow stitching. So I think there will be a lot more pillow stitching coming up here. But I got it all here in this bag. So this is kind of a finish and a whip section that I'm going to talk about. But I put all of my Summer Memories things in this cute little bag that I've got from Speckled Red, because I'm also keeping the fabric that I'm using to finish the pillows in this bag. Love this bag. It's so soft and squishy. But the book I'm talking about, if you haven't already seen it, is Summer Memories by Susan Aki. Now, Fat Quarter Shop put this together for her, or with her, I guess, and it's so good. This is the cross stitch that's inside the book. There's a lot of quilt patterns in there as well, but there's also all of these cute little cross stitch pillows. I just fell in love with these. I saw the I guess 3 different places. I saw like a little parade. I know that Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch did a parade, Nicole did a parade, and then Fat Quarter Shop shared them all too. Each time, oh my gosh, loved it so much. So I knew I needed the book and the Aurifil floss pack, right? And then I also have a stack full of fabrics that I collected. These just came out of my stash. This was some vintage stuff I had, some more cherries, different summer pieces. I had this little fat quarter of, I don't know if I'll use that, but most of it's just vintage fabric that I've gotten at estate sales. And the fabrics I chose to stitch the pieces on are these 3 colors of linen. And I'm just keeping it all here in this bag so that I know where all of it is. I mean, I don't normally shove fabric in the bag too, but that's why this little bag from, Speckled Red, right? Yeah, Speckled Red just really worked out handy for this. Well, let's talk about the bowl, because there's been an update for what's inside the bowl. This is what I've got going on so far. And I went through most of them in detail in last week's episode, so you can go and check those out, but I'll show them to you again here. This bowl is about 19 inches long. We have them in our shop, but they have sold out, but I'm working on getting more. The first one is this cute little cherry tree. Isn't it adorable? Oh my gosh. This is in the Summer Memories book from Susan Aki. And I just finished this with the pink and white gingham and the rickrack. I'm still working on it, but the rickrack trim, I followed a tutorial from Tiger Lily for putting that together. The 2 tiny little ones this is from Stitchy Stars from Lori Holt, and this is a freebie at Fat Quarter Shop. And they're done on, it's all done on 32 count linen. This one, oh my gosh, I love it. And I know I've probably overshown it so many times. It is from Emily Call, and you'll find this on her Etsy shop. And I stitched this using the colors from the Aurifil box set that I got that goes with the Summer Memories book. This guy's also part of the Summer Memories book. Finished with that fabric. This is also part of it. I'm kind of going through these fast because I shared more detail about these in the other video. And then this week I added 2 more. This is United We Stand. It is from Primrose Cottage, and I stitched it using the colors from the box. So these are in Aurifil colors that match the other ones from Summer Memories book. And then this one, this chart is actually in my Etsy shop because I charted this one. And I want to talk about that one and show you some more details. But what it is I had this little vintage stitch in my pile of my collection of vintage items. I don't have a lot of vintage stitching. I've just picked up a few here and there. And most of it is marking samplers, and we're working on a series for those. But this was part of it. And I had found this. I think I really liked this edge. I thought that was kind of cute. Look at that little rosette or whatever that is up there. But I thought it was so quirky because the letters are all there. It is an alphabet sampler. The entire alphabet is there. There are actually 2 I's. She put I in twice. But they're all like mixed up. And I'm like, I have no idea why. But I thought it was kind of interesting. Then when I was looking at it the other day, I noticed it said 1, 2, 3. Like she didn't finish the rest of the letters, but we've got all this space right here. So obviously with a 4 being next, I decided to add, using these letters, July 4. And that's where I came up with this. So we've got the pillow says 1, 2, 3, July 4. So that's my 4th of July pillow. I stitched it with the Aurifil colors, and then I highlighted the letters in the alphabet that would spell out my last name. So these spell out Dimeling, the highlighted letters in blue. And the last thing I did was I stitched 1/1, a little tiny heart right next to the D. This is charted, and it is in our Etsy shop, so you can download. It's a downloadable chart if you'd like to add it into your stitching. And all of the letters, everything is charted as it was shown here. So the spacing and everything matches the original, with the exception of adding the July 4. But you could move the letters around, make it however you want. I just thought it was fun, and I liked how it went into the bowl and was my little pillow sampler for my bowl collection. I do have more that I want to add to the bowl, or even I might even get a bigger bowl, but we'll see how it continues to evolve. I'm going to keep stitching through the end of the month, Patriotic, along with into June. So there's just so much to do, and I'm just having a great time. This week was the launch of Make Your Mark Monthly, which means the Make Your Mark kit is now available in our Etsy shop for pre-order. Make Your Mark Monthly is a concept that I wanted to do because I wanted to put together a kit that I could offer to you that had a board and fabric and floss and a chart, even the tools to paint the board with, everything in a kit form, right? And I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with that, so that was kind of going around in the back of my head. I thought maybe I'd reach out to a designer and see if I could get someone to, like put a chart together for us that would be specific for the kit. Then it occurred to me that I think I also wanted to incorporate all of the things that I've been either trying or that have been new to me since I started stitching a few years ago, and especially the things I've been trying within this last year, and make sure those went in the kit, right? So that led me to samplers, because I just started stitching some samplers and kind of going down the sampler rabbit hole within this last year. And I love them. I absolutely love them. I didn't know that I would, but I did, especially once I started really looking into them. So I'm enjoying those a lot. That also led me to starting to collect some that are actual antiques, right? And I find that my favorite ones are the most simple, the ones that are simple little alphabets, simple one color stitching, that type of thing. I also like the ones with the big letters and the multiple colors, and those are the ones I'm really drawn to. So that led me to think, all right, let's put together, using some of the reproductions that I've already purchased, let's put together a kit and a series that is designed for us to be able to stitch and put our own names into, or whatever name you want to, based off of the original chart. Therefore, it's Make Your Mark. The first Make Your Mark is designed off of, and you might have already seen this, the chart that I picked up from Therese Grosjean. Look at how it's like perfect simplicity. This one, you guys, this is seriously one of my favorites. It has all of the alphabet. It's got a few little like starburst motifs in it. It has the letters and her name with 1910. Actually, I take that back. She did leave out the W. So we don't have a W, but we can make a W. So that's okay. So this is the original chart that I have. And it's so cute. It's so precious. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one now, but I got to do something with it, right? I think I'll go have this framed. But anyway, this is the one that Therese did. The chart for Make Your Mark will come with this completely charted as is. So if you would like to stitch it exactly the way Therese did this, the chart is in the pack. So you will get that chart as well. The other thing so we've got our sampler, right, that we worked off of. The other thing that I've added into my stitching this year is stitching on linen. All right, if you've been with me for a while, I started stitching with Aida, and I still do use Aida. I have a lot of Aida. Then I've also used Lugana, and now I'm trying linen and different counts of linen. I'm also using more hand-dyed linens from different companies. So I thought, well, we should add that in to the kit, right? So it should be a hand-dyed option in both linen and Aida. So for this one, I went with Fiber on a Whim is the company that it's coming from, and the color is Cappuccino. The count size for it is 32 or 16. So those are your options because that's what we've got going on. That's what's going to fit the board nicely. And it's a way for you, if you haven't already stitched using Aida or linen, maybe try it this time. Try with the marking sampler. You know, it's just one floss color, and it's a way for you to stretch yourself and work it on linen. If you don't like it, you can go back to something else. But, you know, sometimes trying is a cool thing. So this is Cappuccino in 32 count. So that's the colorway. And the kit's orderable. That's the options that the kit comes in. It's going to you're going to pick 32 count Cappuccino, linen, or 16 count Aida. I stitched it on both. So I've stitched it a couple different ways. The floss that I decided to go with, I wanted to do one color, so it was red. That's the first adventure in Make Your Mark. I also wanted to have you guys use silk because I've been using silks from a couple of different, but you've been hearing me talk about Vicki Clayton silk or Victoria Clayton from Hand Dyed Fibers. And this color is called Bastion of Delirium. It comes on these little spools. So I reached out to Vicki and said, can I get, a bunch of them from you so that I can include it in the kit? So the floss has arrived. So we've got our floss packs ready to divide these out into our kits. We're waiting on the fabric. So that's why this is still in pre-order and it will ship in June. But this is the floss that we'll be using. And it's a chance to try silk. And if you haven't used Vicki's, this is maybe a good way to get it, and try it out because she does great things. The other thing that I wanted to do is get paint to you and let you try chalk paint. The Bungalow 47 chalk paint line is what I like to use, and there's a whole history for another time on why, but I love using that one, and so that's the paints that will be in your kit. You'll also get a chip brush and another tool that we're going to use for painting our board. Of course, you're also going to get a board, right? So this is the board. This is separate. You don't need to put that on. I just added it because I don't know, I was adding stuff. So if you want to add jute or something or whatever, but you don't need to put anything on at all. But this is what I like to call, let me hold it so you guys can see the texture. This is kind of a decrepit texture, vintage texture paint technique that just transforms this maple piece. Look at this, is a maple paddle, and we used, this is a vintage board I have, so I modified or I made the board off of it. So it is wonky and it is not quite perfect, and that's what I love about the shape. But this is the paint technique that we're going to learn with Make Your Mark. So the Make Your Mark kit also gives you a chance to try maybe a different paint that you haven't already used. And then when you put it all together, it's also giving you a chance to try charting your name. So the chart will come, it's a printed chart that will come in the kit. It will come with the chart printed exactly like Therese did. It will also come, and I've got an example stitched here, blank, so that you have space to add your own name. Now, the difference between that is we move the motifs around. So you'll see, let me show you mine, I guess. In Therese, she put the larger motifs up here because that W wasn't there. In this version, I added the W and then swapped them. So the smaller one is up here and the larger one is down here. Then this space will be, these will be charted onto it, but this space will be left blank so that you can take the letters from the top and chart your name or whatever you want. You can maybe put the Dimelings instead of your own name, or not the dime, you know what I'm talking about, your name. It's Make Your Mark, not my mark. So you're going to be able to stitch whatever you want. But that's what I loved about this particular chart, is it gave us lots of room and lots of places to play with, now charting our own names into things. So this is the completed look. This is the 16 count. I have it just like tacked with a magnet. I will glue this down later, but I wanted to be able to take it off so you could see the paint, the whole board painted. But I will just adhere this right to the board. But this is the 16 count cappuccino that I did this one on. And I have had such a good time. Now I'm going to share something because this is brand new to me too. And I don't even know that I did it right, but I looked at a few tutorials and I did some lacing. So I laced mine, and that was another adventure that maybe you want to try and watch some videos. I'm not going to say that I'm an expert or show you that, but we'll show some, I'll share some other people who are showing those. So maybe you want to try lacing too. But that's what the kit's designed for, is to take you out of your comfort zone, try something new, or maybe you're doing all of these things and you just like the way it looks. That's fun too. So there's a limited number of kits available with the fabrics and the floss. I didn't order deep in this. We're going slow. We'll see how it goes and see what our response is like. And then the next one in July, oh my gosh, I think you're really going to like that one too. Oh, it's so exciting. So for instance, I'll give you a hint for July's. Whereas we started just like any schoolgirl sampler would, we started with one color and we did our basic alphabet, right? Well, in July, we're going to kick it up a notch and add another color. We're going to have two colors, guys. So we have two colors for July, a new fabric to work on, a new way to mount it, and it will be Make Your Mark July. So that's coming, and we'll be sharing that. It'll go, the pre-order for that one will go in June, and so on and so forth as we go. So like I said, Make Your Mark Monthly is now available in our Etsy shop. You can go and pick that up. I have a couple more samples to show you because we did stitch it up a couple different ways. They just aren't completely fully finished yet. So we're going to be doing that soon and sharing that as well. My niece is a brand new stitcher. She just started, and she started with Make Your Mark. And her name is Hannah. And you might have seen this in a previous video, but this is her very first stitch. And she charted her own name in there and the date. and she's in her early 20s, you guys. So I am so thrilled for Hannah, and I'm excited to see how we're going to finish this one for her. It is a little big for that particular paddle because she did it on 14 count because this is brand new to her. So she did that. But then she took it another step further and went to 16 count. So this will fit on the paddle, put her mom's name in it, used a hand-dyed fabric on this one. So the first one was just on white Aida, right? Where you start, right? Then she went to a hand-dyed, and this is creme brulee from Tabby Cat. And she used, again, one floss. I think that 816 is the color. She added her mom's name in. So this is for her mom, and we'll finish that one up. I stitched another one, and this one is stitched exactly like Therese did hers, but with my name. And this is on Hemingway, 32 count, so it's a little bit bigger. And you can see I stitched the motifs up here. So this is all exactly how Therese did hers. I left out the W, and I put my name in there and the 2023. I stitched another one as well, but it's not in here at the moment. So one moment, I'll grab it for you. Thanks. Sorry. I was gone. You don't know. But anyway, the last thing I wanted to show you on Make Your Mark is the one that I stitched on 40 count. And this one I have on a little shelf in my living room, and it is in a pillow. So I used some vintage fabric that I found at an estate sale, and I finished it using the poly pellets. So it's really squishy. And I put my name on this one, and it's in the 40 count linen. I love the feel of those pellets. Although Shelby said today, she came in and she's one of the twins, and she was picking up. She's like, "Oh, it's so cute." She goes, "Are you going to make more of these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I probably will. I really like them." She goes, "That's awesome." She goes, "It's going to be quite the cornhole collection that we have when you pass away." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Oh yeah, we'll just be playing cornhole with all these things." I'm like, "You will not." Anyway, my kids disrespecting. But that's my pillow from Make Your Mark Monthly in 40 count. I'll show you the same one in 16 to give you an idea for size difference. But this has been such a joy, and I look forward to going on this journey with you for the rest of the year. We have a number of different ones. Like I said, there's going to be some fun twists and turns as it comes in, and it's going to give us a chance to try things that we maybe haven't already tried, or maybe you have. You'll probably find something you love. You'll maybe find some things you don't love, but I think it's worth a try. So if you love it as much as I do, I appreciate you all so much. The chart will be available as just a chart only. The board will also be in the shop once we have sold out of the kits. And so if you want to stitch it on other things and just kind of have fun with it yourself, obviously I'm open to going that route too. I just thought I'd try a kit just so that we'd all have something fun to work on. My whips and some stitching plans. I don't have a lot in this section because I was only working on one thing, but I do have some plans. The first thing though, let's get the whip out of the way, right? I've got lots of whips, but this was the one I was working on this last week. I've got it in this bag from Dot Dot Goose. It is a Patriotic Mickey bag, which I love. Got a little charm hanging off of it. And what I started stitching this week is Home Sweet Home from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle. And I am stretching myself on this one, guys. And I chose 40 count is what I'm stitching it on. So far, so good. I do have a boo-boo that I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna have to work with it. But this is what I have so far. It is little. It's so cute. I've got a boo-boo up here in the beak, but I'm gonna just fudge it, I think. But otherwise, it's coming along pretty good. And I'm enjoying it. I really am. I don't know how much more I'm going to do with 40 count, but I like to kind of, try. I like to try. So this is on a 40 count fog, I believe it's called, from Picture This Plus. And it's been, it uses such a, I got all this floss because I bought the kit. And I've got tons of floss. I could probably stitch this thing 40 times on 40 count. I can't believe how little thread it uses. It's so funny. So that's the whip that I'm working on right now, and I'm hoping to put that into a pillow because I've got a spot for that to go. Then the other things I have for plans, I will continue to stitch Patriotic through the end of this month, and I'm going to stitch all through June because I kind of want to stitch along with Fat Quarter Shop. And they're doing the red, white, and June, I believe it's called. Red, white. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, we can look that up. But I want to stitch along with them. So I know that I've got some more things coming. Things are constantly being released. So I know that my plans are going to kind of, they're very fluid. Let's put it that way. But one thing I've got on my radar is to stitch God Bless America by Stitching with the Housewives. I've hung on to this one, this red, white, and blue. I'm thinking of just, it has everything in it, but I think that maybe I'll use the Arfa blocks from the Suzanaki one to do that. And then this one, this red, white, and bloom from Brenda Gervais. I think since there's so much floss in the Home Sweet Home, I think I'll just keep using that floss and get these guys stitched up too. Maybe they'll all go together and I could do another bowl or something with it. And then another one from Teresa Koget in the Patreon. She released this guy. Isn't he cute? So God Bless the USA ornament. And I want to get that one done too. But like I said, I know there will be a lot more, and I'm going to keep my eye out on all of the fun patriotic stitching that's coming and continue to download and hit add to cart and put my collection of patriotic together. I really enjoy that so much. Shop updates. Let's talk about a few new things that have landed into the Etsy shop in the last month or so, and I'm pretty sure I have not shared them with you here on Flosstube yet. So I'm going to go over the mini series, Stars and Stripes, and our home board. First, let's talk about the mini series. The mini series is cut from 1/8 inch MDF, and they are a series of smalls that are going to fit perfectly on tiered trays or on your shelf or a little desk area. The bench from Hobby Lobby, they'll fit great on all of those things. They're going to work best for smalls that are about 4 inches or a small round or a small square. The mini series, some of them are some of the pieces we already have, and I scaled them down. Like this is our barn without the silo. Just scaled it right down, so now it fits perfectly for a small. Each one of them will come with a round. I don't have it on this one, but it will come with a round that you can finish off, and I believe they're about 4¼ inches, if not 4 inches for the rounds. I'll show you the next one has a round on it. That is the little market stand. This is the round that will come with each one of them. If you're using a square finish, then just, use this for something else, but I wanted to include it in case you were putting round finishes on there. The market stand, it has layers to it, and that awning cute. Look at that, that's so cute. So it makes it really easy to paint and then just kind of glue it up and distress it, and you can paint this one, especially this one, actually all of them, but this one would be great for a multitude of different holidays or occasions. Like I can see this one done up for Halloween, even so cute in purples and blacks and greens and different things like that. The other one that we have is I scaled down our truck. I think our truck also works great for a lot of different holidays that you just paint it a little different. This one actually has 3 on the base just to kind of stabilize it. So you'll get all of the parts and pieces to put them together. They're really easy to put together too. And then a tiny little fence. It will have a round with it too. It also has a little pocket for adding greens or whatever to the inside there. So the little fence. And then our last one is the little beehive, little bee skep. This one's about the same scale as the bee skep I shared from Hobby Lobby a little bit ago. It's like a little small one with the jute all the way around it. If you can't find that, this is about the same size. And again, it'll come with the circle. So if you want to put a round finish on it, you can, or, just put a square finish on. Really versatile, very easy to finish. On this one, to give you an idea, I would just paint this back layer all black, paint this top layer yellow, maybe distress it, glue them together, you know, paint your little bee because he comes with it too, and you are good to go. You know, just then put your stitch on it and it'll be ready for your display. So that's our mini series. There are more items coming to the mini series that are just great versatile things that will be fun to add later on. The second one that has been updated is the home board. The home board is also cut from the 1/8 inch MDF and comes with the backer, the bubble frame, another frame, the letters, and a circle. All right, this is press-on board that I finished, but the round circle that you see here, the background, that's also included in this. So if you want, don't use it, just put a square finish in, but if you're doing a round finish, you can finish it on top of that. Now, one note to make this interchangeable is the round circle piece has a hole cut out of the center, making it look kind of like a donut, and that's where I've put the magnet. All right, so the magnets are about an 1/8 inch thick as well. So by cutting out the circle right behind there, we are able to glue that down, then put the magnet right inside that circle, and you can see that left it nice and flush. So we're calling that the magnet trap. So this has a magnet trap behind it. And then on this part, I just finished the press-on board with the fabric and glued it right on top. So we've got the wood circle, the magnet glued in the middle, and then the press-on board is the top. This is the base I'm going to keep. Now, the stitching that I put on top, this is one example of that. This little strawberry. I think you can see that okay. That is from the stitch cards from Lori Holt, and I just laced it and stuck a magnet on the back of that. And that is going to click right in place because we've got the magnet trap behind it. Isn't that cute? So you've got all kinds of ideas that you can do in those, right? Or options, I guess they are, using the stitch cards or all sorts of other things that are from smalls that you can pull out of different things like that. You know, so all sorts of different things. Even this little, look at that little heart. How cute would that be? Done up that way. And that was from the Fat Quarter Shop freebie. So this is the square version. There's also the vertical version. These, I did paint this one in the Facebook group. It is in the featured section. So if you're in Chantel's 141 Facebook, I did a live painting on this and then I just saved it right there. So if you want to see this completely finished from start to end, it's long, speed through it, but I did it there. This also has the magnet trap behind it, so my strawberry can fit on that one as well. But see, it is secure using those rare earth magnets. So that's a little bit of an update for the home boards that we have. The last one I want to share with you is called Stars and Stripes. I added this at the beginning of the month, but I don't think we've talked about it here. So I thought I'd grab it. And this is the board I've done to put my stitch on that's in my plans for God Bless America. Let me bring that closer so you can see. There we go. From Stitching with the Housewives. This will fit. I'm stitching it on a 14 count or 28, one of the two, but this is going to fit right on this space right here. If you stitch it on a smaller count, you're just going to have maybe room for more layers. You can add more layers to it. It'll just come in a little bit. And I'm really looking forward to that. In my plans, I'm talking about that. I'm kind of doing it on like a taupe color. I'm not sure yet, but I haven't decided on the fabric. It's not black. I'm not going to use black, but I still need to decide on the fabric. The other ones from Stitching with the Housewives that will fit on here are Long May She Wave. So if that's in your plans and you're looking for something to put on it, you'd have to mount it this way, obviously. But Long May She Wave will fit. And America the Beautiful will also fit on this one. This is the one you saw in my previous finish that I did also on the like a raw natural, and then I did the letters in black, but that would also fit on this board, which is Stars and Stripes in our shop. So those are a couple of updates in the Etsy shop. We have a lot more in the plans, you know, section coming up, and the ideas that I've got to add more, but I am looking for suggestions. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in giveaways at the end, but if you have suggestions for me, because I've had some special requests for customizing, and while we're not quite ready to set up customization yet, I am looking for suggestions from you. So tell me, what are you stitching? What are you looking for in the way of something to mount that on? And if you could, email that information to me at info@141 Design Company so that I can, keep a list. I kind of want to print that off and keep a list in a file folder so that I've got, something to reference to as I continue to add and continue to grow our shop with finishing display options and, ideas for you guys. So thanks for sharing those ideas with me, and I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. One special patriotic stitch I wanted to highlight because I will be putting together a tutorial on how to build a framelit from our framelits collection, but it is the USA Forever stamp from Fat Quarter Shop. And they fully finished it on the framelits from our shop, which I think is so adorable. So I grabbed the chart, you can get that right from Fat Quarter Shop, and stitched it. Ah! I love this, guys. It's so cute. And I kept going, I wanted to make it a pillow, but I'm going to put it in the framelit too. I might stitch it again and make a pillow as well because I've got some fabric that would go fantastic with it. The colors that I used for mine, I stitched it on 14 count. Is this the pale gray gingham? And I used the Aurifil box colors from the Summer Memories book collection. So those are the same colors. And I stitched my border using the gray from that collection. So those were the changes that I did. I am going to fully finish it on a framelits backer, which is what you saw here as the cover picture. And the way I put this particular framelits together, now framelits have the tagline of tall or wide, you decide. So basically you can finish your piece this way, or you could finish it this way. And what you'll get is you get this overlay, you get one full size piece for your background, then you get this overlay and 4 frame pieces. You can use the frame pieces or you can leave them off if you have a bigger stitch area. You can move them around, so you can put 2 on one side and 2 on this side and leave one off here. That's the way this one in the photo was done. You can see here, there's 2 of them on that side and then on the end, and then it meets up, right? You can also see in the photo, the background to that is Priscilla's Pretty Plaids, and that's what this is, a fabric as well. And the way that was adhered was before layering these pieces on, you decoupage the fabric right on as your backer. So that's how you get this background look. Let me put that in there. This fabric is from Lori Holt, and it is decoupaged onto the wood base. Then the frame pieces were painted, distressed, and glued on top. So just to go back, what you'll do is you paint your whole board white, then you decoupage fabric from one line to the end, then you paint these pieces here and you layer them on top. And that's how this goes together. No need to look for scrapbook paper or anything else. It's just use fabric from your stash, guys. We all have fabric, right? So fabric from your stash turns out great. And I did use Mod Podge to decoupage that with. At Fat Quarter Shop, they've got these cute little, thread dealies. And this is the colors that they have called for. Like I said, I used the Aurifil ones because I just was using those anyway and wanted to match. But I'm going to fully finish this and I'll share it with you next time. It was so fun, and like I said, I'm really thinking I'm going to end up stitching it again. The giveaway this week, we're going to do just a little bit different. We still have a Not Forgotten box, actually 2 of them, ready to go for our giveaway. But to enter into the giveaway, I'm going to have you do it a little bit different way. Normally, I'll have you put a keyword in the description box, and then we'll use the random comment picker and go, look underneath all those keywords and find our winners. This week, I'd love for you to email me, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But I brought a Not Forgotten box in, and that's right here, to open one and show you guys what's in there so that you got a little better idea, right? We came up with the idea because we have quite a few pieces that end up being what we call factory seconds. So maybe they have a knot on the back, or they're leftovers from things we aren't cutting any longer. And instead of throwing those things away, we decided we'd group them together in a box and use them as our giveaways here on the channel. I have one to open, and the girls they're putting together some good boxes, you guys. Let me hold this up. Hopefully it doesn't spill out, but give you an idea. Look at the inside of that. Whoa, let's go through each one, okay? Now, I saw right away they put a couple ornaments in. These are also not sanded, all right? So there's a couple round ornaments in this box. There's some floss dials from the original version that we were doing. So you got a couple floss dials in there. I see this is the square stand. There's an on the edge display board, guys. On the edge is in here. Now, it's got like a little indent in the wood in the back, but that's just the back. So just paint it and you won't even see it. So there's a whole on the edge display in there. One of these cute little scallop boards. One of our paddles with the hearts on the bottom. These were from the mystery make along box 2 that we did. And I'll show you, see what we're talking about? So there's a knot. When we order maple wood, the wood has what's called an A side and a B side. And sometimes the B sides have larger knots. We typically do not send these out, but we do have them in the box. And I think they turn out just as good. No big deal, right? A scroll frame is in here. Oh my gosh. A stitching stand. There's an entire stitching stand in this box. There's also a sled. Sled is in here. And one of the faux pallet boards is in this box. So that gives you an idea of the mystery that you might find when you are the winner for a Not Forgotten box. Each one will be different. Each one will be random. I'll probably take this one back and mix it up, and so that this isn't although someone probably wants just this one, right? Anyway, that's our giveaways each week, and we have 2 of them. I'll bump it up a little bit this week too, because this week, instead of putting the comments in the description box below, I'd really like it if you would email the comment to me, and this is why. What I'm looking for is suggestions, okay? Normally I'll have you use a keyword, but this week I want to hear from you on what you would like to see from us here at 141 Design Company. Do you have a display board in mind that you'd love to see created? Is there a certain shape that you'd like? Is there a certain size that you'd like? Tell me about what you're stitching. Who's your favorite designer? What designers are you stitching? Give me some measurement ideas. Just suggestions. Anything that you can dream up and think of, throw it in the email. All right? And that will enter you in for a chance to win one of our Not Forgotten boxes. What I want you to do is email at info@141design.com. Use the word suggestion in the, bar there at the top. And then I'll know to file that. And you can keep coming up with them if you want. Just keep emailing me. That way I can hang on to the file on my computer and hang on to that email and get just a collection of suggestions going. And that's why I really appreciate you guys and want to add a little bit more in with the box to get that, your feedback for this week. I will need you to be 18 years or older to enter into the giveaway for the Not Forgotten box and living here in the United States, because I'm not shipping these boxes overseas. They're at least 6 pounds. And that's just kind of what we're going with for this particular giveaway. So thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing all of your suggestions. You can give me comments and leave comments here as well if you'd like. We'll read through those, but I'd really like, all of the entries are going to come from the email. So definitely email your entry this week into info@141 Design Company, and I look forward to hearing from you. So good luck.